Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. I say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Jeep to debut their very first EV with pricing starting at $72,000, which is, yeah, I'm not sure how many people want it, but they are going to produce it. That's a fact. Now this comes to us thanks to Jay Caruso and Matthew Kazin over at Fox Business, which, believe it or not, Fox is still somehow in business, which perhaps they should rename the website Fox Still in Business, but I partially digress. So they say Jeep unveils their very first EV, see how much it cost. It'll feature, again, no one cares about, it's an EV. I don't know how many people really care about horsepower because, again, everyone knows by now the appeal of EVs is, instant torque. You go apparently this goes 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. So you'll be able to get your groceries that much faster, or more accurately, go to the soccer field. And it'll feature 600 horsepower, which, all right. Now, the downside is it's not the Jeep you and I think. Granted, when most people think of Jeep, they think of the iconic Wrangler, the off-road machine, which runs sometimes, but I still respect it because they have a manual transmission, at least last time I checked. But nevertheless, this apparently is not going to be the iconic Wrangler. This is going to be the Wagoneer S, which, it looks like it's going to use the same EV architecture as the Dodge Charger EV, which, again, a great product that all 18 people will greatly appreciate when they produce it and deliver it. The starting price tag for this, again, starting at $72,000 before you have to be extorted. I mean, pay the local sales tax or registration fee, which is usually a percentage, unless you have a little LLC in Montana, but again, not legal advice. And it looks kind of like they took a Jeep Wagoneer and they took a hammer to it and just smashed the crap out of it and flattened it. And the image is so flattened, you can't even hardly make out their iconic grill, which, again, it's an EV. They don't need grills. I understand that. But in terms of brand awareness, I'm surprised they crushed it that low. The lights crushed like that kind of looks interesting. They're kind of like slits, like a very bastardized rectangle. And the inside looks, like an EV. It's got lots of touch screens, which of course will never break or, cause issues when they stop making that and they break 5 years from now. Then they got, standard rims. I mean, I'm not sure who really wants this though. Now, some of the comments, of course, are quite fascinating, and I always love when the articles actually have comments. One of the first comments comes from Ted Bear saying, quote, "To date, the federal U.S. government has allocated $7.5 billion for charging stations, yet we currently only have 7 online. Let that sink in," unquote. Which, again, the ineptitude of the U.S. government, you could probably write not just a book, several full-length encyclopedia series on that. There's quite a lot of content to go over. Yeah, that's pretty epic. That's, as a youth might say, that's an epic fail. But I'm, again, not too surprised. Here, Republican says 90% of EVs manufactured are still on the road. The other 10% made it to their destinations. I got 58 likes, with the previous statement I got 73 likes. And a lot of people bring up the issues of, where do you charge these? What's long-term ownership? And again, apparently EV Wranglers in the works for, again, all 18 people who want them. Will this sell? I mean, Stellantis certainly needs sales, obviously. And Wagoneers are premium, big SUV, which, again, in terms of product categories, EVs not so much, but in terms of the crossover SUVs, that's, one of the biggest things people are looking for. Also, hybrids, which, again, this is not a hybrid, it's an EV, which, again, if you have lots of money, sure, it's a great luxury item. If you want a car that'll last your family, 15, 20, 30 years, yeah, it's trash for that specific use case. But let me know, would you ever want an EV? And then would you want a Jeep Wagoneer EV? I wouldn't, but let me know in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.